Otakuans, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another great episode. I do have to apologize in advance. I am sick, so you're going to hear me coughing. I'm going to try to mute my mic unless we're in a heated conversation. Then I'm just going to cough over David so you can't hear his opposing side. No, I'm just kidding.
That's pretty
But I
much what
am
he does
sick.
anyway.
He's the one that edits, so if he ever edits me, he makes me look bad. No, I'm just kidding. But I am sick, so just I apologize for my voice. Um, but we're gonna give you a good show today. So we always do this. We're gonna do it again. Spring 2023 is coming out. Spring 2023 is coming out. We want to look at some of the shows that are either returning or new shows that are coming up, give our kind of review. We read a little bit of the synopsis, try to see if it was interesting. Now, again, we're not going to talk about everything that's coming out in spring 2023 because some of them look downright uninteresting, and we would be here for a lot longer. And I know our shorter videos get more views. I'm just kidding. Speaking of views, if you're watching this, please go ahead and leave a like and a comment. And with the comments that we've already gotten, we really appreciate you guys, negative or positive. I mean, that's the point of being in a spotlight. Some people think, you're good, or they continue the conversation you had. Some people think you have trash takes. And no, we appreciate it. I mean, everybody has an opinion. That's the point of a podcast. That's why we're the Otaku Octagon. Me and him both have different opinions, and we battle on it, and then we're still friends at the end of the day. So we appreciate the anime community for, being with us and hanging out with us. But go ahead, leave another comment, leave a like, please. I'm tired of getting ratioed. I know we're not. We're growing up. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, but we want to hop into our spring season 2023 because some of these return-ins are going to be some bangers, and there's some pretty good ones. I call it the season of the isekai. Um,
Every season is a season of the
as
Isekai.
the season of the isekai. But David has our list, and we're going to run down these MFers, and we're going to talk about them because there's some really good ones coming out, and I hope you guys go and check them out for yourselves. And in a few weeks from now, or maybe a month from now ish, we'll start doing our mid-season review on them. So go ahead and kick it off, big boy.
All right, like Maui already said, we're moving into our spring of 2023. So, of course, yeah, we do have some Isekais, and as he already said, we have
Some,
some. I mean,
all.
what you consider Isekai. If apparently if you can go back and forth, it's
That's
not
not the
Isekai
point.
in his
That's
opinion.
not the point. That's not the point.
So we do have some
going.
return animes, which I will get into later on. But I do want to talk about the ones that are new. Some of we have even spoke about before. So first on the list we have Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise, a quick synopsis. It's about a ninja assassin who apparently so he's set to be executed. Well, when he's about to be executed, he's like, actually, I have nothing left to live for. Go ahead and kill me. Until the last moment when he realizes, actually, I do have something to live for. And then it's crazy. He says, I do have something to live for. I have a wife. Did you just realize that you had a wife? Like at that moment, you're about to die.
What?
Like, oh yeah, I am married, aren't I? And 3 kids. So he's like, all right, I do have something to live for. So apparently, him and the executioner, he's like a famous executioner in this
Yeah.
area. They make a deal, and the deal is, hey, if you are able to go to this island and retrieve this elixir, then we'll go ahead. Omnis Dominus, we're good. All your sins will be forgiven. So, of course, he agrees to it, and he's sent to this island, which is said to be a paradise, but as the name suggests, it's actually a hell's paradise. Apparently, it's an island with a whole bunch of other people who have been sent there to die, monsters, so on and so forth. So, I guess this is a anime about a ninja who's fighting in the wild. What are your thoughts on
So
that?
it it sounds interesting. Um, I've never really big, and we've talked about this before, right? Unless it's Naruto, I've not been big into ninja
Uh,
animes. Like we've agreed on this. Like
yeah.
they've done a lot of ninja animes badly.
Mm,
So unless the fighting is cracked in this, I think it's probably gonna flop. My
yeah.
personal opinion. I'm gonna try it. It sounds cool. The characters look pretty cool. They look kind of like Naruto One Piece esque, like kind of even like an isekai style characters. Like they look like decently drawn characters,
Mm.
but and like I don't know. I just ninja animes. I've always tried it, and it just does like Shinobi no Itai or whatever it is.
Shinobi no
Like
Toki.
Shinobi no Itoki. Like
Mm-hmm.
just regular ninja stuff, it just doesn't appeal to me. I guess Naruto ruined that for me, but like,
Uh,
I don't know. It sounds cool, and it
yeah.
sounds like, whatever. Like he's gonna go and do this special task, but it's like an impossible task. Like, okay, John Wick, like we get it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I'm gonna try it out. It seems interesting. So
From the way the synopsis kind of explains it, it sounds like they expect that he's not going to make this mission. So it's going to be one of
right,
those, we sent you here to die anyway. But I
right.
think it's going to be less ninja-y because, again, yeah, he's a ninja assassin, but he's going to be out on the island in the wild fighting different criminals and whatnot. I think it's just going to be an action-packed anime where we kind of get some
Like a Hunger Games for
backstory. Yeah, like
ninjas.
a Hunger Games s, where we
For
can start to
ninjas,
understand what this island is about and why
right?
people are sent here. So I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
yeah,
it. So the next one is actually going to be called Ancient Magus Bride. So,
yeah.
unfortunately, this is supposed to be in a returning anime, but don't worry, we'll talk about it now. So, if you haven't already seen Ancient Magus Bride, season 1 is already out, but just a quick synopsis of what it's about. The bride of the Ancient Magus Bride, she's a girl where at one point she gives up on life and decides, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and auction myself off so that someone else can take care of me. We're not going to even make any comments on that one. I saw it
Pause.
brewing. I saw it brewing.
Pause.
Don't do it.
Is is she black?
I'm not about to start with you. Look here. She decides she no longer wants to take care of herself and she wants someone else to do it. So she auctions herself off.
Yeah, TikTok influencer.
No, she's
I'm
an
sorry.
American. She's
I'm
an
sorry.
American girl. Don't worry
Oh,
about
okay,
it.
well that still makes sense. Got it.
Actually, she's British. Neither here or there. So the person
There's a
who
lot of
actually
them.
buys her is this like 6 foot, 7 foot guy who he's like deformed. He kind of looks like a demon.
He's a humanoid with like a
Yeah,
skull on it
humanoid,
and
but
shit.
he's
Yeah.
like he's more demon than he is human. So that's already a red flag right there. So you know what it reminds me of?
This shit is Beauty and the Beast.
Exactly, it reminds me of Beauty
This
and the
shit is
Beast, where
anime Beauty and the Beast.
this
That's
girl
all it is.
goes to live with this monster s
Be our
creature,
guest. Be our
and
guest.
now
Don't
they're
you
gonna get
worry about the
married.
rest.
Oh my word! I know
So what?
I know your wife
Yeah.
is actually reading this book.
Yeah, so she has the first 3 volumes
Hmm.
of the first season. Well, first season. She has the first 3 volumes of the manga.
Hmm.
She's read through the first bit of it. I mean, with the babies and the kids and shit all day, she hasn't really get a chance. But she's read like the first few volumes and she likes it pretty well. But that's because she's like a massive fucking Disney nerd.
Hmm.
I don't know what you call them, Mickey Mouses. Mickey Mouses. I don't know, the harem of Mickey Mouse.
I don't think
Um,
that's what it's called at all. Please,
um,
please never say that again.
But no, she's like she loves like Beauty and the Beast,
Mm.
Little Mermaid. She's a big Disney fan. So because that it has that S about it, it's
Mm.
just and she likes anime, Beauty and the Beast. It's like me with Vinland Saga. I love Vikings and I love anime, and
Yeah.
it works. So I know she hasn't finished. It's only the first 3 volumes. It's not like I don't know how the manga and the anime
Mm.
track. So I don't know if like how many volumes the first season is in. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not interested to be honest. I watched
Oh,
Beauty and the Beast the live action only for Emma what's her for
Emma Stone,
Hermione. No, not Emma Stone. Hermione. Hermione from
Ranger. I don't. What is her real name?
it's
Watson. Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emma Watson. Anyways,
You said
but
I only watched it for Emma Watson.
I only watched
Fuck
it
you.
for Emma Watson. And to see Gaston's song, but that's
Mm.
about it. Um, but I'm not interested. So
It's understandable. I
I'll
mean,
tell. I mean, I don't. My wife has never watched the anime, so
yeah.
I could probably bring up the anime for her. She's reading it, but she'll probably like the anime, so I'll tell. I mean, she probably already knows, to be honest. But
Of course. I mean, I like Disney too, man. I watch these romantic rom coms, all that with my wife. So after reading the synopsis, I'm probably going to watch it
Fruit
now.
Basket.
It's. I did not watch Fruit Baskets. Did not
Yes,
watch
you
that.
did. Yes, you did.
I saw a couple episodes, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But no, it's a romantic anime. I
Yeah.
don't know. It sounds like it's gonna be dramatic, so I'll catch it. Maybe we'll see. But I know the next one you are looking forward to. The next title is called Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Now we have spoke about this a few times, but quick synopsis: it's about in a magical world. This kid is born and he doesn't have magic.
You're a wizard, Harry. Oh.
Starting to sound real familiar, right? So he's born, a magicless kid is born in this world in which everyone looks at him as like the scourge of the earth. He should die. He's ruining our magical gene pool.
On my anime's name. Don't make... Watch your mouth. I know it. Keep my anime's name
I didn't say
out
anything. I didn't say anything. So he decides, I'm going to, instead, since I can't do magic, I'm just going to get stronger so that I can beat up everyone who has magic.
Keep my anime's name out your fucking mouth.
I feel at this point you're projecting. No, do you see an
Clover.
Anime in this synopsis?
It's not Black Clover. Clover is better.
I didn't even think of that. Black Clover? That does sound like Black Clover.
You see what he's doing?
And then this part right here, he joins the Magic Academy to reach the rank of Divine Visionary? That sounds real familiar.
I heard you say
real familiar.
So, but that's fine because this is going to be the B-rated. We're doing copycats of Black Clover.
How do you know be a B-rated version of a B-rated anime? How does that work?
All right, guys, signing off for the night.
Right now, we're talking about the season of anime. But before we move on, Mashle and Magic Muscles. You looking forward to this? I know you said a lot about it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, obviously, it's like Black Clover-esque, but I think it has I like Harry Potter, and I think it has a lot of like Harry Potter vibes to it. You know, we're talking about Beauty and the Beast fucking animes, so why wouldn't there be a Harry Potter anime?
Why not?
But they all got like cloaks and wands and shit. I have a feeling. Maybe I'm just looking at shit negative today until we get to the good one, like the ones that I'm really, really looking forward to. But like, I have a feeling it's gonna turn into not a slice of life, but like a everyday high school stuff. It's not gonna be like Black Clover where he joins the Magic Bulls and then just goes out and they just get into fights all the time. I feel like this is gonna be a high school, just kind of anime, and I'm just. Unless like High School of the Dead or some shit. I
can see that actually. Because remember when we talked about it last time, I was like reading more up on it, and they were saying how it's like really memey. So I'm thinking like Dr. Stone memey, in which is going to be kind of slice of life. Maybe there'll be a few fights, but most of the time it's just going to be more about watching the characters do like weird reactions and funny situations, shit like that. So I mean, I'm going to watch it because there's so much hype behind it, but I can definitely see it may not live up to the hype.
If on the cover art it's that kid who has his headband like this, like Naruto when he was trying to be Hokage, this whole vibe is I'm gonna copy every anime that's ever came before me, and we're gonna fucking go for it.
It's a meme. I like it.
This whole show is a meme.
Got it. All right, next show is going to be called. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. So obviously it's an isekai. Obviously it's an isekai. But one more time, I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. So before we talk about it, the quick synopsis is the main character, he's a bully kid in our world, and then one day he discovers a door. He opens the door and realizes it's a door to another world. So that's his cheat skill. And then he finds out that in this other world, it's full of magic and creatures and artifacts, and he realizes he can take stuff from that magical world and bring it into the real world. So I guess that's the whole cheat skill and becoming unrivaled in the real world.
Yeah. So I'm thinking pretty much he's like a bullied kid, finds the door, goes in there, gets some shit that makes him strong or makes him powerful, brings it back, and then there's going to be some scenes where the kids try to bully him again, and he uses something and they flip upsp down or go flying or something. Like, he's not going to be bullied anymore.
You've been playing Harry Potter too much.
Super strong. I haven't even played that game. So.
Oh, no?
But I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. But I also have a feeling about this one that, especially with the cover art that I've been seeing for this, I think he's going to start staying in the other world a lot more. Yeah. Like he's going to just kind of, because hell, if we were a bully kid, if I was fucking alone or by myself or whatever, I would go into it. If I found a door to another world and there's nothing but magic and I was strong as fuck, I'd stay there.
I mean, obviously that's the reason why we love isekais. I mean,
Yeah.
this is literally what we would do if we had the opportunity to do so.
I mean, I'd go right now and leave everything. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
If
outside
you're
of your
watching
wife,
this,
you
babe.
know, you bring her too. Don't sigh out. No, you know what this reminds me of though?
Kidding.
You remember well, it's currently still playing, the Saving 80,000 Gold.
80,000 gold,
That's exactly what I started to think of, where she has the ability to go back and forth, so she started utilizes things in this world, well, the real world, in the fantasy world to make money. I think
there's going to have a little bit more violence, though.
You find so?
Oh, absolutely. I think because especially the way his character looks, he kind of has like a Sid vibe to me, where he's like all black, has the black spear, you know, like he has the girls around him and shit. So I think it's going to turn into like a kind of a harem-esque, but like super strong isekai, the standard trope of a fucking isekai character.
I mean, as long as they fighting monsters and he's not like going to the real world and fucking out regular people, that would be kind of weird.
What's so wrong with that?
We don't condone killing people in the real world, Maui. Outside of war.
Oh, okay.
There you
Continue.
go. we don't. So yes, I would like for him to be in the fantasy world and he gets to flex all his skills and whatnot. Just don't come back in the real world and become like an evil villain who's just destroying stuff because he was bullied. I feel like that would be weird.
It's like my favorite TikTok. Whenever it's like me and my brother gain superpowers, and it's like, brother, we can now save people and use our powers for good. And the dude like turns around slowly, and he's like,
good,
good.
We can be heroes. Heroes.
I
don't know about that. No,
that's like. I've read the funniest comment, which is the truest thing. It's like, I would try to be good for like a week, and then people would just start pissing me the fuck off, and I just start killing people.
No, that's exactly what happens. And what was that? Super Crooks, remember? Where dude, he wanted to be a hero and everything, and then he just got fucked over the first time he tried to be a hero, and he's like, fuck that. I'm a villain. I'm going to use my powers for evil.
He also killed a whole pool full of people on accident.
He could have came back from that. It happens all the time. Who hasn't been electrocuted in a public pool before?
It's happened to the best of us.
Exactly. I mean, we've all embarrassed ourselves in a public pool at one point or another. But anyway, let's move forward to the next one. So the next one is going to be summoned to another world for a second time. So this may seem like it is a season 2, but actually the whole plot of this is the main character already was isekai'd into another world, and it starts with him in the real world again. So apparently the plot of the story is he's isekai'd in the world a long time ago, and he ended up saving that world, but then get into like a situation, I guess, with a villain or a bad guy in which he's tricked and then returned or isekai'd back into the real world, but at the caveat of he's reborn again as a baby. So now he has to like grow up again, but the story doesn't really start until he's isekai'd again back into the world that he was once isekai'd to. Honestly, I feel like it's like really super complicated. Maybe it'll be good. I mean, yeah, like Peter Pan.
He gets Robin Williams to Peter Pan. So essentially, he's in another world, and he comes back, completely forgets that he was over there, then gets sent back again.
Oh yeah.
He gets sent back again, and then pretty much has to defeat the bad guy, save the world again. I mean, I know we're making a lot of references to Disney movies today, and I don't understand why, but anime, it seems like you're doing something.
Don't blame us. Blame them.
Blame them. I don't know whose studio that is, but that studio is definitely pulling it from another source other than their imagination.
They do that a lot. They reference other movies, like popular.
A lot of movies reference animes.
So. I mean, animes reference other animes. Black Clover. But yeah, it happens all the time. So
it sounds interesting. I want to see it because I always have to try isekais out because it sometimes can have good, like, what's it called? Like good action in it, or just funny. Like if an isekai is less action but really funny, I'm okay with that. But if it's like not funny but has a lot of action in it, I'm okay with that as well. So
I think this
A
might
balance.
might have comedy because the whole
Yeah.
being summoned to a world for the second time that is kind of like a funny thing. So I think it's going to be a little comedy, but I definitely think it's going to be some action because
Yeah.
he defeated and saved the world at one point, and then he got tricked by a bad guy, and now he's being
Yeah.
reincarnated again over there or Escott again. I feel like it's definitely going to be some action. So even though I might not like the synopsis or but I think I'm still going to watch it solely because it's an
Yeah.
isekai and just truly hope for the best, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
But
We get
any,
blinded. We get blinded by the isekai.
I mean, if it's an isekai, I'm automatically watch it. But we'll see how far we get. We'll see you next time for the hotter drop. So the next title is going to be Dead Mount Deathplay. So
Yes. This one. This one sounds really cool and
mm-hmm.
it looks really cool in my personal opinion. I could give a synopsis
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
this. So essentially, what happens is there's a legendary hero and he's fighting against the corpse god. It's a necromancer, like a corpse god. There's a showdown, of course, good versus evil, legendary hero versus bad guy. Well, the corpse god is losing from what we can tell, and he does this final blow, his Hail Mary, and something doesn't feel right, and somewhere far away in another, I'm guessing the real world, so it's like reverse isekai,
Mm.
but like in the real world a boy wakes up and he doesn't feel quite himself and he doesn't know why, because the necromancer did some sort of reincarnation magic,
Mm.
and all of a sudden a boy wakes up in another universe, just like wakes up. I don't know if he was dead or if he was just sleeping, or we don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Now what we don't understand, excuse me, what we don't understand is we know somebody's in that boy, whether it's the necromancer
Yeah.
god or the hero, because the necromancer is the one that shot the final shot at the he did the they said shot for a reason, like at the hero. So is it the necromancer trying to escape that woke up in the boy, or is it the hero that got like hit and like died but reincarnated into another world? Because I guess the necromancer knew that the hero couldn't die from that, but he sent him
Yeah.
to another world. So I guess that's what we're gonna have to find out, right?
Mm.
Is who's in that little boy? Because the little boy woke up and he just doesn't feel himself, and he did reincarnation magic. So um, the characters look super dope. This like the swords, like the just the whole like magic and everything. It looks pretty cool. So hopefully, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of violence in this. Hopefully,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
personally, I got a devil as a part timer vibe from like personally, not from the cover art, but just like a devil in another world. Like imagine it's the hero or it's the devil, whichever one is trapped inside this little boy who does his day to day shit, and then he just goes about his day to day life. But he's like that devil's inside of him, and he just learns this day to day
Yeah.
human life of a kid. Now it'd be a little different if this boy was like dead and that reincarnation magic shot into that boy, and then he woke up from like the grave or from wherever the fuck it was, and then
Mm.
he's now the person. But it said the boy doesn't feel himself, so he knows his own
Yeah.
consciousness.
I think
So
the driving force for me for this one is who was Esekai or who was reincarnated, whether it was the hero or
yeah,
the corpse god,
yeah,
because I feel like I would be more interested if it was the corpse god
same.
who was reincarnated, because it would be a play on him having, and then he would be like the main focus of the show. Because same way with the devil as a part timer, like you said,
Yeah,
the
the devil's
devil
supposed to be the
is
bad
the main
guy, but
character. Yeah,
yeah,
he's supposed to be the bad guy, but yet we see him in situations where he's not in bad guy situations, and I
yeah,
find that to be funny. I find that to be
I do
very
too.
interesting. I think it
Yeah,
might be more interesting if the corpse god, but it can still work if it's like the hero,
yeah,
in which the hero has to now get strong again, get all his powers back again, and then try to fight the corpse god
yeah,
again. So I'm gonna watch it. I like the synopsis. I'm a little confused what it means, but I'm interested to see what it means. You know what I mean?
yeah. They left. They didn't. They left a lot to be desired. I'll say
Mm.
that. They left a lot. It looks really interesting. So, and these little black swords look fucking dope. So,
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right. So next one is called "The Legendary Hero is Dead." So quick synopsis: in this world, there's a Hell's Gate that is like the passageway between the demon world and the human world. Well, the legendary hero at one point he sealed the gate so that the demons couldn't just pass through whenever the hell they want and attack the villages and whatnot. But now, where the story begins, that seal is starting to weaken. So everyone knows that the demons are going to start attacking eventually. Soon, imminent. It's an imminent threat. Well, the main character, what seems to be the main character, he's just a normal village guy, and since he knows the demons are going to soon come, he decides, hey, let me go ahead and just dig a whole bunch of pitfalls, so once the demons start attacking, they'll fall and they die. Awesome. Great idea, right? Problem is, he did that, and he did get someone. It just so happened to be the legendary hero. The legendary hero fell into a hole and died.
How are you the legendary hero and you die from a bungee pit?
Like, I read that too. I was like, are these bungee pits special or something? Like
the man's ancestors were Viet Cong or some shit. Like,
I don't know, man. Maybe it was a really well hidden bungee pit, and he couldn't do anything about it. But so obviously this anime is not about the legendary hero, because he's dead. So this main character, the village kid, he's like, oh shoot, what am I going to do? Because we need the legendary hero in order to reseal Hell's Gate. So he goes and finds a necromancer. I guess necromancer isn't a bad guy in this world. Goes find a necromancer, and she says, hey, I can't bring the hero back to life, but instead I can put your soul into the hero's body so that you can be the new legendary hero, and you can then go and reseal the gate. So that's where the story begins. I'm not sure.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'm not sure how they put 2 and 2 together and got 12, but it sounds interesting. It kind of sounds interesting. I just don't know how I feel about it's saying that the regular village kid is going to be, his soul is going to be put into the legendary hero. So does that mean that he's going to get all his powers?
I think the body is the power. The body is. I think his body is magical and has the power, not his soul. So what I'm thinking is once his soul gets transferred, he's going to have those powers. He's not going to know how to use them, but he's going to have to start learning and figuring out his way to use the new body, the new strong body he has. You know what I'm saying? That's like if a 5-year-old gets put into a grown man's body, he's not going to know how to walk or like use the strength that as an adult. He's going to have to learn how to use that. You know what I'm saying? So he's pretty much like an infant being put into a strong body, and he's like, fuck, now I gotta learn how to, because if he didn't get any of his powers, unless she's doing that just to save face of the legendary hero, but if that's not the case, then there's no point in putting him in the legendary hero's body. Then he could just fight as the farm boy that he was. So there's no point. So I'm thinking the body is what has the power, not the soul. So he's like, here's all this power, learn how to use the shit so we can fight.
Yeah, but it also mentions that the necromancer is going to be traveling with the village hero / hero guy. So why does she need to go? That's the part that kind of throws me off.
I don't think so. I think she's just going to help him learn how to use his magic, learn how to use his powers, learn how to use this, that. And plus, like, again, like if she sets him out all by himself, he's just going to get himself killed. No matter how much power he has, he's just going to get fucking killed. So, and she needs him to do this quest, so why not go with him?
Yeah,
you know?
That makes sense. Well, obviously, this is going to be a comedic anime. I mean, the hero literally died to a hole with some sticks in it. So this is going to be funny. I can see if, like, the main character and this necromancer chick, they have, like, this relationship where they're constantly bickering back and forth and arguing. So I'm going to watch it. I mean, we're talking about it. The fact that we're talking about it means I'm going to watch it.
He's a perverted farmer anyways.
I didn't want to bring up that part. I mean, that's my favorite part, but I didn't want to bring it up.
He's a pervert.
He's a pervert. Hentai. Yes, he is.
He's selfish and perverted. Which is funny that he, and I guess we're going into a fucking pitfall ourselves, but it's funny that he would agree. Which, 2 ways. It's funny that he would agree to even put his soul in the body because he's selfish.
Yeah.
But it's also like he's selfish, so he wants power, and he wants to just keep the shit all to himself. So he's like, fuck yeah, I'll go into this body and gain all the strength in the world. Hell yeah. Plus, everybody will love me, and everybody will cheer my name and shit like that, you know? Yeah. So I don't know.
But, well, it did say that he originally wanted to reincarnate the hero. So I think if I imagine it, I see it as he took the hero there to be reincarnated because he just felt like I have to do this because in order to resale it. And then she's like, oh, I can't save him, but I can put your soul in. He's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So she kind of does it
with that.
against his will, and then to make sure he doesn't run
funny.
away, she goes with him to Hell's Gate to make sure it gets done. So if it's like that, I think it's gonna be hella funny.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The legendary hero is dead. We'll see. So the next anime is going to be called My One Hit Kills Sister. I know you read a lot about this one.
Yeah, so this is an isekai anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very that's funny because I'm gonna bring up a damn Black Clover reference, but it's very Marie and Gauche, or what's his name? Gauche. Fuck. The dude that does the mirror magic, and he's in love with his little sister, and he always has his nose bleeding and shit.
Like, yeah, something to get with a G.
Yeah, but so essentially, this boy ends up, a mistake happens in the real world, and he ends up getting transported into another world. But his sister, who has a serious brother complex, like she's in love with her brother, which, yeah, she has a brother complex. In the anime community, we know what that is. She follows him into the next world, and when a situation comes up for him to fight, he starts to realize, I'm not the main character. Like, I'm not the MC.
I'm not the main character.
I'm not the MC because he's super fucking weak. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, his sister comes out of nowhere and fucking slaughters this monster. Then we start realizing that his sister is the one that actually got the power from the isekai, that standard isekai OP, MC strength. She's the one that got that. So it says the adventure begins with the weaker younger brother and the super powerful older sister who has a brother complex.
This is going to be hilarious.
It's going to be
I
fucking
can see this to be hilarious because also
so funny.
They said that it's not that he just doesn't have powers. He's like
just weak.
Really weak. Like, it's like they have to say that his powers are super weak. So I feel like it's going to be this super strong versus super weak, where she always has to save him, and she's always, oh, Oni-chan, I love you, and he's like feeling bad because he can't do shit on himself. He's like, will you please leave me alone? But yeah, she always has to be around him because he can't do anything for himself. I'm watching this. I'm
watching this.
Dude. I mean, it's going to be funny as shit.
Like, it sounds so stupid, but it sounds really funny.
Hey, the more stupid it sounds, the better it's going to be. That's at least what I've seen so far. So that's going to be all of the new anime that's coming up. But of course, we do have a few returning titles. Some of these, Maui's seen more of it than I have, so he'll talk more on it, and some I've seen maybe more than he has. So the first one is going to be Eden Zero Season 2. That one's you.
So, Eden Zero is actually a Netflix anime. I know how you feel. Yeah, here we go. Mute your mic if you're going to complain. But it's actually a really good anime. This is it's kind of to explain. If you haven't seen Eden Zero, it is on Netflix. But to kind of explain it, it's about a young boy who was raised on a robot world. So he was abandoned as a baby. He was raised on a robot world by the Demon Lord, so the Demon King. The Demon King is a robot, but he's like super powerful, like strong robot. Well, he grows up on this robot world. The Demon King dies. Somehow, his powers that the robot has transfers into him, but we don't really know. It's something you kind of have to figure out later down the road. But his powers transfer to him, and then this girl comes out of nowhere and pretty much offers, there's like something happens. It's kind of hard without like the beginning. It would kind of give it away, but if you haven't seen it by now, you need to. But he's forced off that planet. He's forced off that planet, and the girl that he meets, a human girl, the first human he's seen in all his life, pretty much takes him off the planet. It is kind of memey. It's funny because she's a cube tuber. So it's like a YouTuber, but it's a cube tuber. She has a cube where she records her videos and like does stupid shit. And she's popular, but people make fun of her. So she's popular in the like people make fun of you way.
Yeah.
So she's trying to make herself more popular. Well, the whole goal is to find the Eden Zero, which is his father's ship that he used to conquer the seas, and then go to the queen, the goddess of creation, and pretty much wish for all the robots to have a more bountiful planet again. That's kind of the point. But he has to find all these angels that worked with his grandfather, the Demon King. And pretty much the whole point of the show is him going out and looking for these archangels who, if you bring them all together, they become what's it called? They become part of the ship, and the ship works finally. And you can take that ship to the nether or to the beyond regions where people can't take normal ships, but the Eden Zero can go. He does have he does have a power himself. He has this power where he can kind of run on any surface. So like he can jump really high. He can attach himself to the walls by his feet. It's like I forgot what it's called, but it kind of looks like cyberpunk shit. Like it looks like cyber things going through like inside of his arms. It glows in his legs, and he can run on walls. He can run on the ceiling. He can fucking go back and forth, like jump really fast, like
so he has enhancements, like
he has like an enhancement, but it's not something he put in himself. He didn't know he could use that. Until he needed to.
Okay.
And that's where we're talking about like the powers. Like when he starts learning, he has these powers, and it's a certain power that other people in the world have as well, but he didn't know he had them until he needed to use them to save the girl. The girl kind of reminds me of the girl from Fairy Tale that Natsu is with or whatever. She's really cute, you know.
I got you on that one. So the reason why she reminds you of that, the writer of Fairy Tale is the same writer of Eden Zero.
Yeah,
that's why Lucy,
I didn't put that
girl,
together,
and then Happy, the little cute little animal thing. Yeah, it's the same one from Fairy Tale as well.
The cat's a robot, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't know that until he almost died, and then he got brought back to life. Anyways, but because the cat turns into guns. She uses 2 guns. It's like I forgot what it's called. It's like a certain ability that a lot of people have, but it's your own special ability. His is the running on walls. Hers is her cat turns into these guns that she doesn't miss a shot. This other dude, like he's like super fucking strong. It's a certain ability everybody has. It's like a Kagune from fucking Tokyo Ghoul, right? Like everybody has an ability. It's all different though. Not everybody has it though. It's only certain people.
Wow.
But the only reason, so season 1, if you watched it with me, not with me, but like you watched it on pace like I did, it bothered me, and I know you probably it may hopefully it doesn't happen in second season. Netflix did the whole bullshit where they released 25 episodes. We thought that was the first season. Then they released another 4 episodes. Then they released another 7 episodes. Then they released another 10 episodes. And then it was kind of like all over the place. And then it finally ended, and you were like, oh, okay, so it's done now, finally, right? And now we're getting the second season. So hopefully they do this a little bit better.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do this a little bit better and actually release different, like all at once, or like a weekly, like 1 episode a week. Because if it's on Netflix has a chance to release the whole season at once.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd like to see, that, to be honest.
But, I mean, think about what they did with JoJo's. They didn't release it all at one time. They actually broke up that season into 3 different parts. So
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's Netflix. Netflix is dealing with its own problems, especially within the anime on this platform. Yeah. So hopefully it works out. But I
might have to rewatch like the last few episodes, because I remember a lot what happened, but because it kept getting splitting up, I kind of just would like watch it in the background, because I'm like waiting for it to drop like a bunch of episodes so I can binge it. So I would just watch like one in the background, then I'd like go away and then watch another one, and then like whatever. So it's really good though. If you want to watch it now, because it's not doing that core shit anymore, it's all together now on Netflix. It's a really good binge anime.
Yeah, I might watch it. So honestly, the reason I didn't watch it before, other than the fact it's on Netflix, is because the same writer of it is the same writer of Fairy Tale, and I hate Fairy Tale.
Yeah. Fairy Tale sucks.
Seeing those characters, and they looked exactly like them, but after you explained it, it's like nothing like Fairy Tale. So yeah, I'll add it to the list. I got you. So the next one is actually going to be something we have spoke about extensively. It's Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury. So we do have a review on it. So we're not going to get into a full review, but it is another Mobile Suit Gundam installment. It's actually the first Mobile Suit Gundam installment that I watched from episode 1, and I'm continuing on. My favorite is still Iron Blooded Orphans, but I feel like this one may surpass it. You know, the girl, she does things. The Gundam, it does things too. So season 2 is coming out, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do have to correct myself. Eden Zero season 2 got pushed to April. It was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out yesterday, but it got pushed to April.
Okay.
So on Netflix, it's going to be on Netflix.
Okay. Do you have a day on April?
No, it doesn't say
Sometime
specifically
April?
what date. It just says sometime in April. But going back, Witch of Mercury, I need to finish it. I have not finished it yet, so I'll get to it.
It's good.
I know I'm the Mobile Suit Gundam guy. Let me get there. Let me get there.
But something that I know you're going to finish, Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc.
If Mitsuri dies, I'm not watching Demon Slayer for the rest of the time because she's the baddest one besides Shinobu.
Everyone knows what Demon Slayer is.
Arc.
We're not going to get into it. I mean, I think maybe one day we're going to do an actual review on Demon Slayer, but every
arc, a Hashira either dies or gets his hands cut off. I'm sick of it.
You said Mitsuri?
Mitsuri, yeah, she has pink and
no. I think you're safe.
Big boobs.
I think you're safe on this one.
I know. Obanai? Yeah, Obanai is the Hashira, the main Hashira for this one. The snake
one,
Hashira.
yeah. He's the main one for this one. But no.
She's gonna be in this though. She's gonna be working.
in it. So I did read this one. I finished all of Demon Slayer reading it.
Yeah.
But as you already know, the Hashira, they're meant to die. That's literally what they get paid.
We've talked about this before. When we first started this podcast and we first started talking about Demon Slayer, I didn't know much about it. I don't read manga. I just watch animes. I have manga collections like behind me and stuff, and I like to collect certain manga that I love, but I didn't know much about it until I started reading forward and started reading articles and reading captions and fandom boards and shit like that.
I started looking into it. Nice.
I did because I like Demon Slayer, and I started realizing that yes, Demon Slayers and Hashira were never stronger than the Moons. Never. They're just there as like a deterrent. They're like a road. They're like a fucking wall against a hurricane. They're just meant to stop it long enough to keep it away from people. They're never meant to stop it completely. And I started realizing that more. So I was just like, I get it, even though I don't like it, but it is a different spin on an anime. Besides, like the strong 12 guys are like gonna always kick the demon's ass. Like no, like we're just trying to survive.
we just trying to make ends meet, bro.
And I appreciate. I don't like it, and I appreciate it at the same time because it's not like, oh, these Demon Slayers are so fucking badass. The only thing I don't like about Demon Slayer is they put Tanjiro in these like he should have fucking died moments, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he pulls an Aspull and then wins. That's my thing. That's my opinion.
The main character. That's what MC.
I know that's the point, but it's very, very obvious.
Would you rather him die and then they use the Dragon Ball?
I'd rather him not get put in those like clear lined positions. Like if there's ways, and other animes have done it perfectly, where the main character we know is supposed to just pull it out of his ass and win, but it wasn't that clear that he was in that bad of a position. But when you get sliced the fuck up, you have zero energy for like 20 minutes. You say that you can't move your arms or legs, you can't see, and then you get stabbed in the fucking mouth by a poison scythe, and then all of a sudden you have all this energy and you start fucking swinging for the hill. Like, get the fuck out of here.
In his defense, like they talk about it more in the manga versus the anime. That the breathing that they do heals them. So in that time,
their powers aren't real anyways, but
the powers are
they're not real.
Okay, so the fire and the water you see, those things aren't real. Yes.
That's how they imagine themselves.
But their breathing techniques that they do, it actually heals them. So every time, that's why they always, like when he was training, they would always tell him, control your breathing. Your breathing techniques is the most important part. When he's sitting still breathing, he's internally healing his body. So that
he was far gone. But you mean to tell me he got beat? And I love Demon Slayer. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch all the ass pulls in the world. You know I'm a fan of ass pull.
Yeah, we know you love your ass.
So I don't give a fuck, right? But I'm just red selling it because he has been put in situations where he wasn't worse off. He was less injured, and it took him a whole day and a half, 2 days. He was passed out, couldn't recovering. But this man was literally stabbed in the fucking mouth. Like with a scythe, a poison scythe that was stuck in his mouth.
Oh man, okay.
He couldn't move his arms or legs. His tendons, his fingers were fucked. It was either his wrist or his fingers were cut. were like almost cut the fuck off.
Mm.
He literally couldn't grip his sword. His hand was like limp like this on his sword. And then he grows his little curse mark to do his daddy's little technique. And then he wins. Like, I understand
We'll
my
get
boy.
there. We'll get there.
I
Like, you'll learn
understand my
more.
boy. I know what's going on with him. I know the powers he has. I've already read forward. But
So why
I
do you
get
seem
my
so
boy.
confused then? It seems like you're like,
I
how's
get
that
my boy
happening?
Zenitsu. I get my boy Zenitsu winning. Understandable. That's Zenitsu. I get it.
Hold on, you put
But
Zenitsu over Tanjiro?
absolutely, if Zenitsu learned, and it said this before by the Hashira themselves. Future, you've read it. Hashira have said if this boy would wake up and learn like maybe one more technique, he would be unstoppable. He's faster than all the Hashira.
He is the fastest. He's the fastest
He would be unstoppable.
Hashira Demon Slayer there is.
If he stopped being scared and woke up and could do that, he
You
would
think
be
he could be
unstoppable.
Tanjiro though?
Yeah, Demon Slayer. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I think it's gonna be really good. If Mitsuru dies again, I'm not watching that show anymore.
I mean, if any of them die again, I'm not going to watch the show anymore. So I
Obanai
guess I'm
can
not going to
die.
watch the show anymore.
I don't like snakes, so Obanai can die.
All good, all good. All right, so next one is going to be Doctor Stone New World. I've talked about this a few times with you offline. I like Doctor Stone. It's just not an anime I can watch week to week. I gotta binge it all in one go.
Yeah. I want to restart it. I've said I wanted to restart it again because when I first started watching it, it was really good. I'm definitely gonna look forward to this. If y'all haven't seen it, like really quick synopsis. But this kid essentially is like super fucking smart. He's like is the smartest person in the entire world. A cataclysmic event happens. He knows it's coming, and there's a way where he potentially saves a lot of his friends' lives and people around the world. He preserves them, and he gives himself a emergency, I guess, like power on thing where, like, I think it's like 3 million years later or some shit. It ends up waking him up. Like he does this thing. He creates this invention where it wakes him up. It preserves him, I guess you could say, like a cryo sleep thing, and he's pretty much trying to find a way to revive. That's the first season. He's reviving all the people around that he knows how to revive, because he knew the cataclysmic event was about to destroy the world. So he made like a emergency kind of like cryo thing for people, like a kind of like a shield. But then he's pretty much just rebuilding the world. That's the whole point. He's just rebuilding everything and trying to bring the world back to the way it was. So, and he rescued some people and so on and so forth. It's really funny. Yeah. And the good thing about it, excuse me, is that it's scientifically accurate. Most of it, not all of it. Obviously, it's an anime, but they actually based it off of actual science. The creators and everything talked about that, and you can look up most of the experiments that he does, and it's real. They're real experiments. You could really do that shit. So
yeah,
don't try this at home, kids.
He used his modern day science knowledge to pretty much create all of the things that we see around us: trains, cars,
gunpowder.
It's a pretty good show, especially if you're a science nerd. If you like working with your hands, he does a lot of things where he just builds things out of nothing and creates things that we see in our world today. So if you're really interested in those type of things, I think it's a great show. But the reason why I love the show so much, I think he has the hardest job out of many of the MCs. What he's trying to do seems like the most impossible task compared to every other anime I've seen so far. Literally reviving all of human civilization in a time where they're basically prehistoric again. Yeah, all the ones who were frozen in that cryogenic state. He wants to revive them all again, even though he's basically living in prehistoric times where they have stones. That's Dr. Stone. They live in a stone world where he has to bring modern day technology into the world they live in today. So I think it's a pretty great premise. But again, I prefer to binge it versus watching it week to week because it is interesting. And when I did try watching it week to week, I had to go back an episode to watch the new episode. So it's just easier for me to watch it all in one go. So the next show is going to be called Over the Moon Season 2. So I'm going to be real with y'all. Yes, Maui is not looking forward to this. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm not necessarily looking forward to this either. I did add this to it because I know it is a popular rom-com. I know a lot of our viewers do like rom-coms themselves. So, of course, Over the Moon Season 2 is coming out spring of 2023. So if you saw Season 1, you got something to look forward to. The next title is going to be KonoSuba, an explosion of this wonderful world. So this is a what I consider an isekai, but what you don't consider an isekai. It is a fantasy world, adventure guild. The main character, he's not like overpowered or anything. He's a regular guy who's just trying to make ends meet. He decides one day, hey, I want to create a adventuring team where we all go out on adventures, make money, do regular adventure guild stuff. But the problem is, everybody he finds to join his adventuring squad, they're all they're all weird and different. Weird. What the new season is going to be about? The girl named Megumin. She's a very powerful Crimson Magic user. Crimson Magic is actually the most powerful magic in this world, and she has one of the most powerful spells it is. It's an advanced level magic. Problem is, every time she uses it, she passes out. So they'll be in the middle of a fight. Huge bad guy. They say, Megumin, use explosion. And she uses her explosion spell. And as soon as she uses it, she passes out. So, honestly, the show is funny. But the this is not a season 2 of KonoSuba. It's more of a prelude. And it's going to be focusing on Megumin, that Crimson Magic user. And basically a prelude to how she got to the point all the way up till she met that MC of the regular show and joins his adventure party. I know you said you haven't watched it yet, but you might be interested.
Yeah, I saw a cover art about it a while back when the first season came out. We talked about it. It didn't look interesting to me, but now that I've heard a little bit more about it, it sounds pretty cool. So I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be memey. It's meant to make fun of other adventure guilty isekai animes. So if you like that type of stuff, like I do, this will definitely be a good watch. Next title is going to be Rankings of the Kings, Treasure Chest of Courage. Now, I know you said you started this one.
So I watched the first season when we talked about this a while back. I do like this anime. Like I do really like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty much about this little kid who he's like everybody thinks he's weak, but he's actually it's kind of hard to explain like his power. So he's like everything he does is super weak comparatively, but his like strike is it like strike or poke is like really strong. So he can block everything. He can dodge everything. He's super fucking fast. He's super like he has like so much power, right? He's like you can't touch this kid. Like you can't touch him. He's like all over the map. You can't hit him. He has the best martial arts ever. But when he hits you, it's like so like he fights his brother. His brother is like this like supposed to be like the prodigy whatever. His brother always loses until it's time for him to strike him. So then he goes to hit his brother and his brother's like and then his brother hits him on the head with a fucking sword and then he loses. And he's like, "Oh, so we pretty much find out that he's actually really good at poking." Which is it sounds weird, but he has this he has a rapier. Yeah,
I haven't been poked for a while.
He has he has his rapier. They make him this rapier, which is like it's a real pointy sword. If y'all don't know what it is, it's a fencing sword. And then when he starts actually using the rapier, his hits start to actually like register. So he starts to actually get hit markers, if you know what I'm saying. And so it's pretty much just him figuring out his way through the world. He goes on adventures. I didn't get to finish the first season. I kind of fell off on it. Not that it fell off, but a lot of other stuff started coming out that was really good, and I just kind of forgot about it. But it's really interesting.
So what's the ranking of kings about?
I think it's pretty much they're going to find out like who should be the next king. I think that's pretty much the premise. Again, I didn't finish the first season. I need to go back to it. I keep saying that I'm going to, and I just keep forgetting.
Is he in the running? Is he trying to be king as well?
So they don't think he wants to, and I'm pretty sure. I think he becomes king if I'm not mistaken. But like, not even like on some bullshit. Like he just becomes like he's just.
I mean, the reason why I didn't watch it is I saw the cover art for it. And he reminded me of like the older anime. I think I've mentioned it before. I think it's called like Shino-chan or something like that, And I didn't like how the character design looked, and it made me feel like this show is just going to be stupid, like corny, stupid. Not like it's just a dumb premise. Just I thought it was just going to be super corny. So,
Yeah.
but obviously you told me about it a couple weeks ago, so I said, oh, I'm going to pick it up. I just haven't picked it up again. You know, my list is pretty long, so I do plan on watching it. Obviously, season 2 is coming out, so if you do finish season 1, and it's like, oh, that shit was amazing, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and watch it. But
I'll
now,
probably restart it.
we'll see. So let me know. Let me know how it is.
I'm gonna try to restart it. I gotta finish Lovecraft Country, but then I'll restart it.
Oh yeah, that's the title. I love that one.
That's it right there.
All right, so the last anime we're going to be covering today is going to be In Another World with My Smartphone too. I wanted to finish it with this one because I really don't have much to say about it. It is an isekai. It's about a kid who's isekai'd into another world with his smartphone, and he uses his smartphone to do OP things, and he creates a harem of girls, of course, because he's the only one with an iPhone in this world, and you know, females love iPhones. And now they're about to make a season 2. So if you like isekais, definitely watch it. But honestly, it was corny. I love corny isekais. This was super corny, so I'm actually very surprised season 2 is coming out. But maybe it's one of those situations where in the light novel, the beginning was corny, but then they started to find their stride as the light novels went on. So season 2 may be a lot better. Another situation of that. What is the one anime I mentioned to you that I said it was super corny, but then another season of it came out? God, what is the name of that anime? Evolution Fruit. The one you said was One Piece.
Familiar.
The one you said where he eats the fruit and then he used to be fat. He eats the fruit and he becomes skinny and becomes powerful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of that. It was super corny, but it was a corny isekai, so I finished the first season. And I am watching it. I started the second season, this current season of anime, and it's a lot better than the first season. I actually think I've messaged you that they have a lot of Fists of the North Star and JoJo Bizarre Adventure references in there. So I've been enjoying the second season a lot more. So maybe this will be the same situation.
So JoJo references that anime. Got it.
No. There's JoJo references in that anime.
No, so that anime references JoJo.
Yeah, exactly. So I find that to be interesting. So,
I heard JoJo does make a lot of references to a lot of other anime.
JoJo makes a lot of references. There's actually many groups on Facebook. Like, is that a JoJo reference? It's always about, is this a JoJo reference? Every time you see different magazines and animes, they always post
I know JoJo Bizarre steals a lot of ideas from other anime.
They don't steal anything.
JoJo makes a lot of references.
Yeah, they don't. Let's not say they steal anything. JoJo is the most original anime I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about? What anime has the same premise of JoJo? This is not a Naruto Black Clover situation.
I didn't know JoJo had a premise.
You didn't watch it. I keep telling you to watch it.
I watched the first 3 seasons. First 12 seasons, first 3.
But no, that was the last of our the seasonal animes of spring of 2023. Out of our list though, Maui, which are the top 2 that you're looking forward to?
I don't want to be that guy, that shonen guy, so I'm gonna pick one from each category. I'm gonna do one new and one returning. Okay. So my one new is gonna be I got a cheat skill into another world. Fuck, I forgot the whole. It's a long time.
Unrivaled in a new real world too. Mm-hmm.
I got a cheat skill in another world and became unraveled in a new world, like that, and the real world too, whatever. That's gonna be my one. I'm really looking forward to that. I like the character designs. I think it's really cool. And my returning, probably Black Clover. Only because, or not Black Clover. I mean, Black Clover movie is coming out, but Demon Slayer. Because I really like Demon Slayer, and I think the new season is going to be dope. The last arc was dope. This arc's going to be dope. I mean, I've already seen the trailer for it. I've already seen like they were playing. If you go on like TikTok and YouTube, you could find people recording it in the theaters because people watch the anime in theater. That's what they do in Japan. But they were watching the season in the theaters, and like that shit looks fucking amazing. Yeah. So
yeah, they did have that the little special premiere of the ending of the last arc and the beginning of the next arc. So
yeah. That's my new and my returning.
So what I'm looking forward to is going to be. I'm so torn between Summon to Another World for a Second Time or The Legendary Hero is Dead. You know, I'm going to go ahead and call it audible. What I'm most looking forward to is my one-hit kill sister. Because as we already said, I think that's going to be pretty fucking funny. I think it's going to be pretty funny. I think they're going to be put into those precarious situations, especially with the whole brother love thing she got going on. I think it's going to be really hilarious.
You're looking forward to that, huh?
I am looking forward. I mean, you've seen the premise in shows? It's usually I don't think they're going to get really bad, because usually when it gets really bad, it turns out like, oh, I'm really not your sister. I was just your mom adopted me when we were really young. You just don't remember that. They do that so many damn times.
Well, I mean, we appreciate you guys. Again, leave a like, leave a follow. Let us know what you think, what you're looking forward to the most out of this next season. Obviously, we're not really getting started till like April-ish, the beginning of April. We're getting there. We're getting there close. Be sure to look forward to our next video, or not our next video, but coming out about halfway through. So if you watch us every week, you'll see our videos. You'll know when it's coming up. But about 5 episodes in most animes, we do our hot or drop, where we'll tell you what sucked and what didn't. So, and that's normally when I have to binge watch anime for an entire week straight because I get stuck on live action shows and I forget that we're about to do a hot or drop because I'm a poor content creator.
you just picking up older animes.
I do, and I do have a problem. I do have a problem where I'll find an older anime that is really fucking good, and I'll just binge that whole thing. I'm like, fuck, I didn't watch
everything else.
And I stopped watching everything else. It's happened plenty of times. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Let us know what you think. Peace out.
Peace.